Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. This is United Daily Live, the place where we bring you the latest Manchester United news every single day, live here on AdamMcKola TV. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button right now and getting involved on the channel for daily MUFC content here. And of course, click that join button if you can as well, like Niall Duggan has in the last couple of hours. Thank you very much to Niall Duggan for becoming the latest member of AdamMcKola TV. You get exclusive content, bonus features on the channel. You get to join the Discord, get your questions in for player interviews and Q&As and things like that. So make sure you're doing that to get a little bit more out of the channel and support the cause here on AMTV and help us continue our growth. We're on the race for 100,000 subscribers, so get hitting that subscribe button. And of course, today in the latest Manchester United news, we are delivering a Timo Werner warning to Manchester United fans. Yes, I nearly said Timo Werner warning. Yeah, very German. But Timo Werner warning for everybody involved with Man United, because I know a lot of people rate this player. I know a lot of people want to see him sign for Man United. He obviously has a release clause which is pretty achievable for many teams, and you know, when you look at the quality of the player, the amount of goals he scores, his release clause is pretty cheap for someone of that ability. But I'm here to deliver a warning today, because whilst Manchester United are being linked with him, all is not what it seems, and just don't get hooked in to these rumours, because I feel like United and even Chelsea's name is being thrown into the mix just to create a sense of competition there, when there really isn't any competition for his signature at all, because he's going to end up at Liverpool. So we'll be looking at those reports, and we'll be looking at everything surrounding the Timo Werner news. Camavinga, Eduardo Camavinga, someone that you may remember from the Football Manager episodes that we've been doing, and episode 3 was out yesterday. Rennes have ruled out a sale of Eduardo Camavinga. Now, it was believed United, Real Madrid, a few other clubs were interested in him. They've ruled out that transfer. Now, obviously, you know, Rennes aren't in a position to be fighting off teams left, right and centre, and they don't have the financial power, or, you know, they're not competing for titles in France. So I'm sure if Camavinga could get a move elsewhere, he'd probably take it, and they're probably paying hardball for a bigger fee. But we'll look at those reports as well. Chicharito's been in the press talking about the appointment of David Moyes at Manchester United, and he's criticised that appointment as well, which, I mean, you know, he's open to doing. I remember during the time, Chicharito pissed me off a little bit with his antics and the way he was acting whilst he was still at Manchester United. But you have to take into consideration how some of these players were feeling as well. And maybe the whole shock factor of Fergie going and the disaster was that David Moyes coming in didn't help proceedings at all. But we'll be looking at those quotes as well. And the gossip columns are filled again with talk of Manchester United getting Philippe Coutinho. A move that I've pretty much ignored, because I don't think we're signing Philippe Coutinho. We've just brought in Bruno Fernandes. We've just, you know, we're probably going to keep Paul Pogba. And, you know, there's talk about Jack Grealish and all these guys coming in. We wouldn't be going for Philippe Coutinho at all, would we? He doesn't fit in with what Manchester United need in terms of, you know, the signings. It'd be too much of a risk, in my opinion. So I don't think that one's going to happen either. And it does look like Barcelona are just trying to get some potential suitors for him on a permanent deal. Is he Barcelona's player still, or is he Bayern Munich's player now? I don't even know who owns him anymore. That's how much I've been out of the loop with Philippe Coutinho's career. Absolutely madness. But like I said, get your comments and your thoughts in as we're going along about everything we're going to discuss today. So those are the stories we've got on hand. And of course, you know, if you've got any questions or stories that you want to get in, feel free to do that. Stoic Savage, thank you very much, mate, for your nice comment. I appreciate that. Thomas party before Camavinga, says Alan Casey. Sean says, RE Timo Werner. This is all just to rush Liverpool into doing the deal ASAP. Gary says, F Werner and Coutinho, don't want or need either. Michael wants Sancho and Werner. Ross says, Werner reminds me of Morata when he came to the Premier League. All he wanted when he was at Chelsea was a tap-in. Where did I get that shirt from? This is from Bowl Cut Garms, Danny. If he comes, he will take Martial's spot as the #1 striker. Now, I've had this conversation with somebody in the comments the other day. I don't feel Timo Werner, look, his goal record this season is better than Anthony Martial's. But put Anthony Martial in that RB Leipzig team. or Marcus Rashford in that RB Leipzig team, and they have a lot more goals. I think Anthony Martial for me is a lot more clinical than Timo Werner, and that's shown in the stats as well. And whilst I would, Timo Werner is a fantastic player. Bringing him into Manchester United would be a great addition to the team. I'm not saying that's not the case, but you're asking me who would I prefer as my first choice striker. Now I'm a little bit biased, but I'd say Anthony Martial still. It's as simple as that. I wouldn't take out Anthony Martial or Marcus Rashford out of our front three for Timo Werner. That's for sure. What do you think of Ighalo's loan extension till January and signing our next centre forward to Sayesh? It looks like that could be something that's happening now. Now, obviously, today is the day when Adrian Ighalo's loan deal ends at Manchester United. His loan deal, the last day of it is today. Now, what's going to happen in terms of where's he going to go and all that kind of stuff? Is he going to, go back to China? Is he going to stay? Well, actually, he may not be able to go back to China. You're hearing stories that it's going to take up to October before you can get access to it. You'd be able to fly back into the country and all those kind of things. So it's looking like he's probably not going to go back, and that loan deal could be extended. Now, they can't extend the loan deal to October. It just doesn't work like that. I don't think United could keep him to the player registration and all that kind of thing. So they'd have to keep him to the next transfer window, which would be January. So that's looking like that could be the case, but we're still waiting for confirmation on that. Anyway, let's get into this Timo Werner story. We'll read the stories out because, of course, that's what we're here to do. And the Sunday newspapers are always going for it. They go large on Sundays. And the Daily Mail on Sunday, already we know what's going on when it's the Daily Mail. But they say Timo Werner is willing to join Chelsea or Manchester United this summer, but only if Liverpool refuse to pay his £49 million RB Leipzig release clause. Timo Werner will only listen to Premier League offers if Liverpool fail to sign him, is how it goes. United and Chelsea are looking to strengthen their attacking options. They've put 2 and 2 together and got 5. The 24-year-old has a £49 million release clause, but Liverpool value him at £30 million, which is disrespectful in itself. If I was Timo Werner, I'd say, you value me at £30 million? I've been scoring all these goals. Piss off, I'm not signing for you. But nevertheless, RB Leipzig CEO Oliver Mintzlaff insists a deal for Werner won't get any cheaper. The story goes on. Timo Werner is reportedly open to joining Chelsea and Man United this summer, but only if Liverpool give up in their attempts to sign the striker. Liverpool are at the front of the queue to sign the Germany international, but face competition from their Premier League rivals. All 3 English clubs are reluctant to pay the 24-year-old's £49 million release clause, currently valuing the player at £30 million. However, Leipzig CEO Oliver Mintzlaff has warned any future move to sign the forward will not get any cheaper. Werner has scored 30 goals in all competitions this season and remains under contract at Leipzig until at least 2023. Despite differing valuations, Jurgen Klopp has held personal discussions with Werner in which he has reiterated Liverpool's desire to complete a deal. According to Sky Sport Italia journalist Fabrizio Romano and from Di Marzio as well, Werner remains hopeful of moving to Anfield and will only consider other offers if the Reds end negotiations. Werner had previously suggested he would prefer to join Man United instead of Liverpool. Speaking in 2018, he said, yes, playing in the Premier League is a dream for me. I'd like to play for 2 or 3 clubs, and Man United are one of those. Man United and Liverpool were the teams I watched quite a lot in England. They were the 2 that I'm a little bit of a fan of because they have so much history. When Alex Ferguson was the coach, United won everything and were outstanding. Don't we know it, Timo? And he said about Liverpool, it's also their stadium and atmosphere. But when I decide, I'm more Man United than Liverpool. That's what he said in 2018. But now, it looks like that there's that deal there for him to go to Liverpool. But now Liverpool are backing down from the price. There's an agreement in place there. It's been quite obvious for a while. However, in recent months, the article goes on, his recent position appears to be closer to Liverpool by describing Jurgen Klopp as the best coach in the world and saying there is a lot to suggest that my style of play would suit him. So that is the latest on Timo Werner in terms of what is in the press. Now, he's got a release clause of £52 million, but what you'll see is Liverpool also did this with Virgil van Dijk. So they knew the player wanted to go to Liverpool. Once they knew the player wanted to go to Liverpool, they started playing hardball with the player's team in order to get the price down. Now, what you'll see here in terms of, because of the the coronavirus pandemic, Liverpool attempted to furlough all of their staff, and they only went back on that because of the public outcry and the public outrage in it. But that decision to furlough their staff clearly shows that there's an effort there by Liverpool to reduce spending for whatever reason. Now this may be affecting them more than we realise, and it's going to affect a lot of clubs, but it's going to affect Liverpool too. And when you hear about Manchester United losing some money in terms of a little bit of TV money and all that, whatever it is, Liverpool losing that kind of money, regardless of them winning the Champions League and winning the Premier League, they're still not, it's still going to affect them in terms of what they could spend. Now, do I think it's going to affect them so much that they can't spend an extra 20 million on Timo Werner? Probably not. But if you're a club that was about to furlough your staff, morally, can you really spend 30, 40, 50 million on a player? I'm sure morals go out the window a lot of time with football anyway. But I don't see Timo Werner coming to Man United. I don't see Liverpool pulling out of this race. They're playing hardball. Timo Werner is probably committed to going to Liverpool. He's committed to their project. He's committed to signing for them. Liverpool now are trying to get that price down. They know RB Leipzig have a release clause. That release clause is there. Pay it. But they're not going to just do that. You may as well negotiate. And it makes sense to negotiate regardless. So maybe Liverpool coming out and saying, yo, we're not spending that 50 odd million, but we do want him. And Timo Werner's position being, well, actually, I'm not going anywhere apart from Liverpool. This may be a conceited attempt by them both to get the price down. And that's certainly how it feels like. I have no doubts Manchester United, who will be looking for a forward, have probably scouted him. I have no doubts that Chelsea, when you look at their forwards, Tammy Abraham, Olivier Giroud, they can sign players now. I have no doubt they'll be scouting these kind of players. But are they going to sign them? Are these clubs going to sign Timo Werner? And I have to say I don't think so. It'd take a lot for that to happen now. Now, it could be the case that I'm underestimating Liverpool's financial issues. That could be the case. I'm probably underestimating their financial issues in the terms that, they may have been hit more than we realise. But I don't think they've been hit that much. And I think this is just a negotiating tactic. Fabrizio Romano's just tweeted, by the way, and PSG's official account, that Mauro Icardi permanent deal. Mauro Icardi is committed to PSG until June the 30th, 2024. Is pleased to announce the exercise of the option to purchase Mauro Icardi. The 27-year-old was loaned in 2019-20 by Inter Milan. So he's now confirmed and official as an Inter Milan player. So, sorry, as a PSG player, apologies. So let us know what you're thinking about this Timo Werner thing. Where do you stand? Do you actually want United to go all out and try a signing from under the noses of Liverpool? Would it be the kind of move that would be one of those power moves that Ed Woodward loves? What do you think? Let us know. I'm going to dive into the comments now before we move on to another story. Callum says Werner's going to Liverpool 100%. People just need to accept it. Rashford's a start and not a bench option, says Ross. What else is going on? Icardi, yeah, we've seen that. What's up, Adam? How gracious of Werner. I wouldn't want him at United given his very public statements, says Mr. Wild Times. Did I hear about Bruno liking a post of Sancho coming to United? I didn't. Anish says he smells BS. Werner's just baiting us and Chelsea to get the move he wants to the dirty Scouser, says Rogue Dark Agent. This could also be coming from, though, RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig could be briefing this. Chelsea are interested. United are interested. We're talking with these like now. Just to get Liverpool to budge a little bit. So it might not be, Timo Werner's agents doing or anything like that. It might be a little bit of a brief from RB Leipzig. So Adam, what if Liverpool don't trigger the release clause? That must mean he will go elsewhere because his current club want to sell him, says Paul. Yes, that's true. But I guess if RB Leipzig want to cash in, Timo Werner isn't going to agree or accept a deal elsewhere. And Liverpool are the only team he wants to join, or he makes it clear through an agent or something like that, then it's going to be very difficult for them to sell him. And it's how much do they want that money? Are they prepared to keep him for another season, or what's the situation there? So you have to consider all those kind of things as well. What's going on with Ighalo? I'd rather keep him for a season or two instead of signing Werner just to give Mason a few years to grow, says Colin. Why not? He's capable of being a starter. I agree with Greenwood and James, not Rashford. So someone's saying Rashford isn't a starter. Let me show me who they are. Haven't. Yes, Neil. Hope you're doing well, mate. Definitely a deal worth doing. McTominay because it's part. Okay, that conversation. Emery Quidini, how you doing, bro? Sam Drew's in the house. Luis Cadavid says the only signings I want: Sancho, Angel Gomez, and a loan extension for Ighalo. In case Ighalo leaves after this season, which forward should we go for? Says Tanai Shah. It looks like we're going to go for like a Moussa Dembele or something like that. I suggested in jest once we should get Troy Deeney as our backup striker. I'd take him. Doing my research ahead of our live session later today, says Akshay, sorry. Yes, I'm going to be doing a live on Instagram later. So make sure you're checking that out for us. Head over to the MUSCHYD. It's the Hyderabad Manchester United Supporters Club. One of the Indian supporters clubs. So check them out on live. I've done a few of those in the last couple of weeks with various different supporters clubs. Really enjoy it. So if you want to check that out later, it'll be 3 p.m. UK time. I think it's 8 p.m. Indian time. Watching training videos has been so refreshing. I'm loving the energy, says Rian. The players must be buzzing to get back into the mix of things, innit? It's been so dead. Like they've been stuck at home. Imagine when everyone gets to go back out and see all their mates. They're going to be buzzing just for no reason. So you can see why the players are like that. Now we got a story on Eduardo Camavinga, and he's saying Eduardo Camavinga will prioritise a move to Real Madrid ahead of Man United, according to reports in Spain. Earlier this week, it was revealed that United are hoping to beat Real Madrid to the signing of the Rennes midfielder in the summer transfer window. United have been extensively monitoring the 17-year-old progress in League One, with Marcel Bout, the club's head of global scouting, personally checking in on the midfielder. As part of their bid for Camavinga, United are also willing to allow the midfielder to remain on loan with Rennes for another season. But Real Madrid are also making a big push to sign Camavinga, with Zinedine Zidane keen on signing the midfielder if they are unable to land Paul Pogba from United. According to AS, Camavinga wants to link up with Zidane at Madrid as the player loves the idea of playing under the French World Cup winner in the Spanish capital. However, Rennes president Nicolas Holvec insists the French club have no plans to sell one of League One's most highly rated young players this summer. For Eduardo Camavinga, the project is to continue to progress at Stade Rennes, Holvec told RTL. The next season should be that of the consecration in Rennes for him. Very sincerely, yes, the project next season will be with Eduardo. So Rennes are confident of keeping Camavinga in their side, which is obviously great news for them. Probably not good news for those that are trying to sign him. A very, very talented midfielder. At 17 years old, probably like a buy and loan back deal would be the best move to go for any club that we're going to sign him. Because then he gets that benefit of a little bit of time to continue playing first team football week in, week out. If United brought him in and kept him at Old Trafford, wouldn't be able to play him at all. Now, do I think we're going to be in for him this summer? Probably not. Wouldn't surprise me if Real Madrid went in for him, maybe loaned him back. But I can't see United signing him, unfortunately. I think he's a massively talented player. We're talking about the Chicharito thing next, to get your thoughts in on that as well, if you've read his comment. Sky have just reported this minute that we're close to agreeing an Ighalo extension. So let's have a butchers at this. Yeah, so Sky Sports have reported United are close to agreeing a loan extension for Jadon Ighalo. That's all we've got at this moment in time. But it looks like United will get that deal sorted for Ighalo. And as soon as we hear news in relation to Ighalo, we will of course be live here on AdamMcKola TV. So make sure you are keeping it locked for that. Today is the last day of his loan deal, so he could potentially leave Manchester United tomorrow, as things stand. But we're waiting for confirmation on this. As at the moment, Sky Sports reporting United are close to agreeing a deal for a loan extension. Nothing's changed really, has it? Unless it's official. Anyway, the ex-Red Devil striker Javier Hernandez admits that a coach brought in from Everton to replace a managerial legend always faced an impossible task. Man United made a mistake in hiring David Moyes as successor to Ferguson, says Javier Hernandez, with that decision still haunting them right now. The Red Devils saw an iconic coach head into retirement during the summer of 2013 on the back of a 13th Premier League title triumph. Fellow Scott Moyes was the man chosen to fill the biggest shoes with a productive spell at Everton, suggests that he was ready for the most demanding of roles. A disastrous stint at Old Trafford ended up lasting only a matter of months, with United quickly spotting the error of their ways as they slipped into a serious rut. They are yet to drag themselves out of that despite enjoying the odd success over recent years, and Hernandez believes a fallen giant is paying the price for asking the wrong man to take on an impossible task. He said, "To be honest, I'm always going to be a Red. We didn't ever have anything personal, Moyes and myself, but it was a mistake that they took him. It was a mistake. It was the first mistake, but it's still haunting them now. Not because of him, he was not a bad manager, but they thought they were going to take the replacement of the boss of Sir Alex so quick. It's impossible. Not even now, even with Guardiola, Mourinho and Klopp, they are not on the same level as the boss even now. They are on the way of trying to get there, to be those kind of managers. They could get there, but that changed careers that could have been better. Raphael, myself, Danny Welbeck and a lot of players who needed to go away to play. They brought in David Moyes, and I'm not going to question whether he was a good coach, a bad coach, but I don't understand how it's possible. What's the word? Not humble, but to be at least half of what you are succeeding. He was the greatest of all time." Speaks a little bit in riddles, doesn't he? "I even went to speak to Sir Alex because he knew I was down. He knew I was going to be sold, not loaned to Madrid, and we spoke about it and he told me things that I was thinking. This is Real Madrid, man, and for a Mexican guy, my career lasted for years and my career at Real Madrid lasted 1 year. They had Van Nistelrooy, Beckham, Owen. I played for Manchester United and then Real Madrid. It was incredible. It's still difficult to believe. I can accept being a substitute at United. Sir Alex told me that one of his regrets was not to play me more, and he told me he was going to speak to Moyes to tell him I needed to play more. He said I was an important figure for United. I deserved more game time. And then David Moyes and Ed Woodward did not do both. They did not play me and they did not let me go. In the winter there was enough of an opportunity for me to go, but he did not let me go because he was so stubborn, and that's why he only lasted 7 months, because he was not humble. He could not grow to be United." Damning verdict from Chicharito on David Moyes. And I remember at the time, Javier Hernandez pissed me off a lot with some of his posts on social media and liking posts and slide digs. But you have to think as well, on reflection, thinking about those players. Now they have a duty to be available. Is for Javier Hernandez whole world, like, or players like Javier Hernandez that had experienced Sir Alex Ferguson and experienced that success and experienced all of that, to then go to David Moyes must have like been a head fuck. It must have been a head fuck. Must have been like, you're not Sir Alex, bro. Who are you telling me that? And the results weren't coming. When the results aren't coming, you're beginning to think, what the fuck? You're not playing me. You're not getting the results. The football's awful. You talk shit in the media. Like, you're not a Man United manager. And you can see how their heads could go. You can see how they could start to think, fuck this shit, man. This guy's not the one. Ed Woodward not doing what he's supposed to do, you know. And it's just, it's sad, but you can see how their heads could just absolutely go. Even like, you know, Robin Van Persie. He thought he was going to get Fergie for 3 years. Soon as Fergie had lost that, it was... Sorry, as soon as Van Persie had lost Fergie, his head had gone. He wanted that. If it was like, we're going to win the Premier League, we're going to win the Champions League, Fergie's gone, like a year in. What? Thought we were going to win the Champions League next year? Imagine Van Persie, he'd finally come to a club where he had success and he played to the level, won trophies, the proper trophies, and then the manager goes. His head must have absolutely fell off. Fell off. Yes, Rye, how you doing, bro? I prefer Giggs in charge than Moyes. That team should never have finished 7th. Says Ross. Man United Caribbeans in the house. Not much news today at all, Mr. Tomwood, Dr. Tomwood. Not much news at all. It's been a quiet one. The Timo Werner reports are circulating a little bit. The Camavinga story circulating. Chicharito's comment are obviously doing the rounds. And tomorrow we're going to be back with the Premier League Gazette. And we're also going to be back with United Daily Live as well. It'll be at the latest slot of 10:30 PM tomorrow. So make sure you check in for that. And the Premier League Gazette will be the upload at this time tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So make sure you're there for then. We get all the papers and go through all that good stuff. Again, thank you to all the members that have joined AdamMcKola TV and the latest member, Niall Duggan, who became a member in the last couple of hours. Thank you very much. We're now, I think it's like 30 odd away from hitting that target of 100 by the end of June. So it's like one a day and we'll hit it. So get hitting that join button if you can. There's a fair few, there's a fair few videos up there now. A couple of members only videos have dropped because it's the second month, going into the third month of members. And there's loads of stuff going on in the Discord and that as well, which I'll post a fresh link to very, very soon. Ighalo's potential loan extension with Manchester United will run until the end of January 2021, says Sky. But as soon as we get confirmation on that, again, we'll be live. So keep it like, comment, share and subscribe. For now, I've been AdamMcKola. You lot have been legends. I am out of here as soon as I click this.